Hello students, welcome to the class. In this class, we will study Economics second lesson, People as Resource. Before starting this lesson, just recall the previous lesson, the story of village Palampur. In that lesson, we studied the four factors of production like land, labor, physical capital and human capital. Human capital is the knowledge and enterprise to be able to put together land, labor, physical capital to produce. The lesson People as Resource is related to human capital. It describes how the population became human resource. So, this lesson is an effort to explain population as an asset for the economy rather than a liability. Let's know the meaning of asset. An asset is a resource with economic value that an individual, corporation or country owns or controls with the expectation that it will provide a benefit. Liability. It is also a resource, but with a negative value. It will not provide any benefit. It is just like burden for the owner. Population becomes human capital when there is investment made in the form of education, training and medical care. For example, the healthy and educated person is an asset because he has ability to do work and can earn for the family and the nation. On the other hand, an uneducated and unhealthy person is a liability for the country because he is unable to earn anything to the family or country. So, he is depend on the family to fulfill his needs. So we can conclude population is a human capital when there is investment made in the form of education, training and medical care. Working population of a country, their existing productive skills and abilities are known as people as resource. This productive nature of the population helps to develop the gross national product of the country through abilities. Instead of seeing population from productive aspect, we look only at the negative side and consider population is the cause of all the problems in the country, like food problem, education problem, lack of health facilities, etc. When the existing human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy, we call it human capital formation. It adds to the productive power of the country just like physical capital formation. Land, capital, and natural resource form the important resources of a country because these help in future production. But all these are useless if the country does not have human resource. It is the human resource which convert all the other resource into useful form. Now, investment in capital. Investment in human capital through education, training and medical care yields a return just like investment in physical capital. If the educated and healthier people gain more income, society also gains in other indirect ways because the advantages of a more educated or a healthier population spreads to those who themselves were not directly educated or given health care. Now students, are you a asset or liability for the country? No doubt you are a asset in progress. With investment made on education and health, you can yield a high returns in future in the form of higher earnings and greater contribution to the country. Educated parents are fond of invest more heavily on the education of their children. They are also more aware of their children needs of nutrition and hygiene. A virtuous cycle is created in this case. But uneducated parents, not realizing the importance of education, do not invest on the children's education, thus creating a vicious circle. Countries like Japan have invested heavily in human resource because They did not have adequate natural resources. They import natural resources needed by the country. They have invested on people, especially in the field of education and health. These people have made efficient use of other resources like land, capital. Efficiency and technology evolved by people have made these countries developed and rich. Next topic, economic activities by man and woman. The activities which help in earn money for the country or add value to the national income are known as economic activities. There are classified into three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Primary sector. This is also known as agriculture sector. This sector considers directly using of natural resources. This sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, mining, etc. Secondary sector. Using products resulting from activities in the primary sector for manufacturing of finished goods are classified in this category. All manufacturing process and construction activities are included in the sector. Next, tertiary sector. All activities which support the primary and secondary sectors are classified in this category. This sector provides service. This sector include trade, transport, communication, education, health, tourism, banking, insurance, etc. Now we will see types of economic activities. Economic activities are two types: market activities and non-market activities. Market activities involve remuneration to the person who performs an activity for a pay or profit. For example, production of different goods for sale or to get profit, and service rendered by teacher, doctor, and an engineer for pay, etc. Non-economic activities are not paid, as production of these activities is for self-consumption or self-use or other non-remuneration activities. For example, women doing domestic work, looking after children, and subsistence farmers grow crops for self-consumption, etc. There are huge difference between economic activities performed by men and women. Women look after domestic affairs like cooking of food, washing of clothes, cleaning of utensils, housekeeping, and looking after children, while men working in the fields earning money which they spend on rearing their families. Men are paid for their work. On the contrary, women are not paid for their performance in the house. The work done by man is recognized in the national income, whereas the household work done by women is not recognized in the national income. The division of labor between man and woman in families is due to historical and social reasons. So we can conclude education and skills are the major determinants of the earning of any individual in the market. A majority of women have meager education and low skill compared to men. Most women work in the primary sector, which lacks job security, legal protection, and provides irregular and low income. There is also absence of basic facilities like maternity leave, childcare leave, and other social security systems. On the other hand, women with high education and skills are paid equally as men among the organized sector. Teaching and medicine attract the women most. Students, after watching this video, read the pages from 16 to 19 of the lesson People as Resource and answer the following questions. First one, people are the greatest resource that a country has. Explain. Here you have to describe importance of human resource and its contribution to the country. Second question, what is the difference between economic activities and non-economic activities? For this answer, you have to make 2 columns and write at least 3 differences. Third one, how have the various activities been classified into sectors? For this answer, you have to describe the 3 sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary sectors separately with examples. Students, write these question and answers in your notebook. Thank you.